Right, the stream is up. And we'll wait for the race to get underway. So I'm just gonna share the link out on various platforms. Doubt anybody will tune in on such a warm day though.
Probably not. Oh, I'll be outside. There's a lot of people playing cricket outside my window.
Oh wow. Sounds exciting. Didn't know they play cricket up in Sunderland.
I'm in York, so...
Oh, in York. Oh, that's a popular cricketing area.
I think Paul Collingwood from Sunderland.
Oh, that's it. I think he was the England skipper back in the day.
Yeah.
Right.
From Ashbrook.
Sounds cool. Right, so we're just waiting for the FP race to get underway here at Shanghai. We're just sharing the stream out at the moment. Hulk, what are your thoughts on Shanghai?
It's not my favourite track in the world. You can get some good races on. The weather can be a bit unpredictable, but I don't really like driving it. The first corner is really frustrating because you always feel like you can get more time just by going in faster, and then you go too fast and you mess it up. So, but yeah, it should be good racing at least.
No, I definitely agree with you, and we're getting some viewers in. Hopefully we'll get this show on the road very shortly. Just going to share the stream on Twitter. So we've got Anthony Haig who's made it. He says he's very happy to be here. He says good evening to everyone, and good evening to you, Haig. Glad to have you here for this FP race. Obviously one of the title contenders. Hopefully he's in a better car, and hopefully he'll put on a better show.
Yeah, so he's in the Williams tonight, is it?
That is correct. I think so anyway. I'm just saying things for the sake of it. But he's in a good car.
Who are the title contenders? I think Ash is one, isn't he? He's up there. As he always is.
Ash, Jack Lacey, Jolyon Umanu's emerged as a contender as well. So yeah,
that could be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think Jack Lacey's here tonight though, so it might be a bit of an issue for him.
Yeah, I think it will be. So we just got our tweet out. Normally we get more viewers in at the start of the race, but they are all flooding in. Ugi Azim is tuning in as well for this incredible race in the central capital of China here at Shanghai. Ash Best back in the McLaren. I just wonder what conditions are going to throw at us. We saw in the F1 race yesterday it was mixed conditions, which saw PSGL favourite Nick Pine get a podium.
Yeah, I caught the end of that race. It was very exciting. Obviously went wet and then dry by the end again. So a few people gambled and got it wrong. Other people gambled and got it right. So it'd be nice if we had a similar race like that. Or you don't always need a rain to have an exciting race.
Well, you don't. I mean, as long as there's overtakes, we're happy, and as long as there are collisions. Ash Best has got his black cat next to him, so hopefully he'll get some luck from that. So we'll see how that one works out for good old Ash Best.
Yeah, always a lucky charm. One I'm quite partial to. But let's see. Will be Ash coming out first, as he always does. Doesn't appear to be any rain, although it is quite overcast.
Yeah, and Ugi Azim has written in the chat, in a foreign tongue, he says "Ki hao hei paji." It's a very interesting thing that he said there, but I think he's just saying how are we doing, and I think we're both doing very well.
Yep, definitely. Good translation there, I think. I'll have to take your word for it. So.
Yeah, and cars are flooding out of the pit lane here. Look at that, Jack Tyler in the Ferrari as well for this race. Jack Tyler's complained that he's not got much TV coverage, and Jolyon Umanu says he wants a lap on board. So Should we give Jack Tyler the airtime in the Ferrari?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, just on his outlap for now, I suppose, but might not be the airtime he was hoping for. But
yeah, it's better than no airtime at all, and he shouldn't be letting drivers go through. Go on, Jack, battle him on your outlet.
yeah, so some people like to take it quite slow. Other people like to have a nice, quick outlap. Some people will actually properly race you, which can be a bit frustrating. But
yeah, and look at that, he's on the grass already. Is Jack Tyler? Very rocky start. Here at Shanghai. I'm looking at it, he's got no confidence, he's just letting drivers go through, just biding his time, and I think we probably need to turn our attentions to who's going to be the first man to actually set a time on that. It's a Renault.
A Renault. I can't. Who is it? It's the CC Renault.
I'll just double check for you on the forums and for us all.
I think it's Waddle actually.
It is Wako, so we will give him the airtime here at the moment. So he's coming around with a final bend here. You want to take us through this, Hulk?
Yeah, he comes down the pit straight here. It's a very nice helmet he's got on there. Nice variation in colours into the turn one. You have to take with a lot of speed, but not too much, so you don't drift out wide. He looks to have got it quite nicely. Got the nose in for the apex. And for the second part, as he heads now down to what I think is this turn 3, which you take completely flat out. And working hard now into turn 4, which is slightly difficult corner. You see he lost the back end there on the exit, and this should be completely flat out in qualifying up into 7th gear. And yeah, braking hard now down to about 5th or so as he hits towards the end of sector 2. Been a rather clean lap apart from maybe the exit of turn 4, but it should be at least a decent banker for him as he heads now down, braking hard at the end of the middle sector now, accelerating through this corner, which is one of the most frustrating on the track I find. The car just wants to keep drifting wide and wide and wide, and you have to really hold on the thought before you can get the power down for this long, I think it's a kilometre long straight. But with DRS open, he's going to brake hard now, just about 100 metre ball, gets the nose in. I think he drifted a little bit wide there, but he should be just about all right, didn't lose too much time from it. Coming up to the final corner, you don't want to drift out too wide, he doesn't, just ride the curve slightly. What's his time going to be? It's a 134.2. You see there where that puts him up against Ash, 134.3, so he is quicker than Ash on this lap.
Chicken Owens has gone fastest with a 34.1, so an incredible lap from Chicken Owens. Where's Jack Tyler in all this? In the Ferrari, he's in a good car here, he's looking for better luck this time out. He's in the Williams last race, but in the Ferrari, Jack Tyler looking to get his season back on track here in the FP League, and he goes second. Incredible from Jack Tyler, phenomenal stuff. Who else is out there? Jolian Manu, I think, has come out of the pit somewhere. He's crossing the line here, and he goes third in the Williams. Experienced Jolian Manu puts it third. He'll be happy with that. He had a podium last time out, obviously. Haig, ninth on the softs, but I wonder where the experienced Mr. Grumpy's going to go in the Red Bull. Only ninth. Only ninth. What do you make of that, Hulk?
Well, I can't imagine the Renault engine's going to help him down that long straight, but I was expecting a slightly better lap time than that. I mean, most of the drivers are fairly close in the low 134s. Mr. Grumpy's a fair way off. Hopefully, maybe it was just a bad lap and he'll improve later on. His flying phone goes fastest, so 133.8 in the Force India. He's going to be loving that back straight in that car.
Yeah, it's a great lap, and you know who's coming out of the pits now to do a flying lap. You know, after everybody else sets their time, it's Joe Finn who'll come out to do a flying lap. So he's going to be going around on the out lap, and he always seems to get some TV coverage every race. So we're going to give him the airtime here, Hulk. Just a word on Duo Finn. He's come out here on the super soft tyres. Often he comes out on the hardest tyre compound, but not today. Is this a brave move for Duo Finn, who's been the points, finished 10th consecutively for the past 2 races?
Well, we're about to see. He might be feeling quite confident around this track. I haven't seen what the space is like. Yeah, Yeah, he seems to have manipulated it, so he's going to have a completely empty track for his flying lap. We'll see where that all helps him out, and he is in the Mercedes, so he should be. I mean, he is always tends to be down the back of the field, but he's a solid racer and will always make positions up because he doesn't really make mistakes. And yeah, it is very rare for him to be on the option tyre, but maybe that is just a sign of his confidence in this race.
Yeah, and I'm just having a word in my ear from race control. They say that rain could be expected towards the end of a race, and Anthony Haig is also reporting similar forecasts as well. And Joe Finn here, he's starting a lap, Hulk. What will he be thinking going into turn 1? Can he do it or can he not?
Well, it depends what you mean by it. Is he? Well, no, apparently not. He's drifted into the gravel. I think that answers your question there. He just took too much speed into the entry and just drifts out wide, and it can happen. It's very frustrating when it does happen, but it's very easy to do it on that first corner.
And what that will mean for Joe Finn means he only has got one more effort left. Does he pit, get a new set of tyres on and go again? That's his best bet. If I was Joe Finn, I'd be straight in, but he's got to battle against time here. He's got to get into the pits, change his tyres quickly, but I'm sure he's got fuel for another flyer. So who else is out there? Is Mr. Grumpy going again? He does.
Yeah,
he's 1.9 seconds down.
It looks like he's out early. He might be fueled for a couple of laps on those tyres. Which, I mean, the soft, in my experience at least, they wear out fairly quickly, so it's not what I want to do, but no, he's apparently just going back into the pits. I think he did do 2 flying laps on the first set of tyres though, which is why he's improved to a 134.1. The original lap was a 34.8.
So it's an incredibly tight grid here. Obviously, Mr. Grumpy 34.1 would want to be a little bit faster than that. Big C down in 11th, Haig down in 12th, Frizzo down in 13th. Obviously, last week's race winner around Catalonia, and Duofin is going again.
Really? So he must have fueled his car rather long. I mean, those tyres, they've had a half spin. They've been in the gravel, and they're going to have done probably 4 laps, including the out lap and the in lap. So they are going to be in the best shape if he ends up in the top 10 on those.
No, I agree with you. And the top 7 drivers only separated by 7 points. So this is a massive, massive race for the likes of Ash Best, Warren Haig, CC Brain, Flying Throne, and also AMS, who's been Mr. Consistent so far this season. But we are on board with Duo Finn here, Hulk. I'm losing my voice in the heat, but this looks to be a good lap so far, doesn't it? From one of the most veteran drivers you will ever see on any league racing site.
Yeah, it's been a lot smoother, a lot cleaner. He hasn't been off the track as far as we've seen. So hopefully we'll be looking to improve on that 141 and move up the field. As Jack Tyler has retired, he has just pulled up to the side of the tyre. There was no crash there. So back with Duo Finn down the long pit straight of the DRS Open. So yeah, where can that time put it? This lap put him? As we said earlier, those tyres will be quite old. I'm not sure if he wants to qualify in the top 10 on them really, but we're going to see what he's going to do. He heads up to the final corner. It's unlikely he's going to be able to go for another run. He's probably not going to have to pay off that all the tyres. So what's he going to do? It's 135.4, puts him in 12th place. It's not really what he was looking for there.
Yes, not good enough. I know Joel wanted to have a full lap on board, but we've got many drivers to choose from. Everybody's out there. I mean, we've got to look at the battle for pole. Mr. Grumpy is down in 7th at the moment. He could be improving. He's coming around the back straight. I know Big C is into the final corner in the Haas as well. So I wonder who's furthest up the track at the moment.
There's a few people who are into the male sector by now. I think Frome is one of them.
Should we just have a look at Frome then, see if he can improve, and then we'll go straight on board with the lights of Big C and Co. And the Force India looks really good. We're on some interesting camera shot here and yeah, he looks like he's really, really creasing the car around as he runs wide a little bit in the Sahara Force India. Can he get the braking spot on into this corner? Yes, he does. He's nailed it, but I think him running wide would have cost him those couple of attempts, which he would have looked to have gained in the laps. I don't know if it's going to be much better, but can he sneak a toe from the car in front? He does. He goes directly to the right-hand side here.
Yeah, but it's going to help him, as Ashbest is pretty much trying to get out of his way. Not sure if he's trying to stop the tow advantage, whether he is just getting completely out of dodge. As Foam comes towards the end of the lap now, coming up to the final corner. As we said earlier, he did run wide, so that might cost him a couple of tenths, but he's riding the curb on the exit of the final corner. What's his time going to be? It's a 1:33.5, so he has improved.
He has improved, but there are other drivers out there, and we are on board with the PSGL F1 7-time champion, Big C in the Haas, but Dano has gone fastest. He's gone fastest. That is incredible, but what can Big C do? Can he have a response here in the Haas as he locks up into the heavy braking zone? It's a good slow down of the car there, but can he get the final corner spot on? Big C in the Haas sweeps the car around, a lot of understeer, a lot of oversteer, he's got it all going on, and he puts the car 8th. It's not good enough. What can Mr. Grumpy do? Can he have an answer for Big C? Finished behind him last time out in a respectable 7th. But here he is, one of the most experienced drivers, and he goes 5th. It's a good lap, 33.8. But Jolian Manu is coming around the final corner as well. Hulk, take us through this man. Well, I'll take you through him. Jolian Manu across the final line, and he goes 7th. Okay, so it's Flying Frame on pole from Dano, Chicken Owns and co. I'm just going to invite my co-commentator back into the lobby, so do bear with me one moment. Apologies for the inconvenience, but that was one terrific qualifying session here. So I've just invited Hulk back. I don't know if he's from Ashbest 7th, Joel 8th, Wacko 9th, Big C 10th, and then there's AMS, Wacko, Haig, Joe Finn and Frizzo Stark ran out the rest of the grid. And now we're going to see, are we going to have a restart for Dano?
I have no idea what happened there.
No, that's alright. I think Dano also dropped out there, so that was quite interesting. I think there might be a restart. I don't know what they're saying in the PSN chat for you.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen. Not sure what they're going to do about quality though, because we were at the end and people were improving. But they'll be a bit harsh on the people who didn't manage to finish the flying laps.
Yeah, but it is what it is, and we are going to have a restart. So yeah, do bear with us. So it's an interesting qualifying session, wasn't it? Who's your bet on to win this race?
I have no idea because I don't know what the grid is. I didn't really get to see it properly before the disconnect happened, so
Yeah,
I'll have to take a look at the grid before I make any firm decision.
That's right, Hulk. I've got to be honest with you. I can't remember the grid myself, but I think it's Flying Frame on pole position from what I remember, with Dano alongside him. So we'll just wait for the lobby to be restarted, and then we'll get this race underway. I mean, we often find in FP there's always a restart. I mean, especially when you're in the commentary box, we always seem to have a restart.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why. It's never had any issues anywhere else, any other league, any other division, but just seems to be that whenever I'm commentating, this sort of thing happens. So, a bit frustrating, but
and how's the weather?
Lots of people frustrated about the fact that they won't get their ultimate lap time in. Yeah, the weather looks like it will be in at the end of the race.
That's good. And what about the weather up in Sunderland? I mean, it's known for being one of the coldest parts of the country up in the northeast, but you know, I'm sure even good old Sunderland gets a bit of sunshine.
Yeah, recently it is living up to its name. It's very sunny there, on the coast. Absolutely boiling for once. You only get it a few days a year, so it's nice to have it.
That's good. So we're gonna get this race underway shortly.
Yeah, people still shouting for one-shot qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've got a grid, you've got it all set up, you've got to act on what's there and just, you know, go with that. I mean, everybody's going to get fresh tyres. What's the complaints? Just get on with it, get racing. I mean, a one shot would be unfair on those who put in terrific qualifying times, such as Jack Tyler, who's 6th on the grid in the Ferrari and could be looking at some good haul of points. But, you know, it's not in our hands, it's not for us to decide. We'll see what they choose.
Yeah, I think according to the rule book, it should be starting with whatever grid we had at the time.
Yeah, well, you've got to go by the book. And you're a man who knows all about the rule book. So
yeah, I didn't write it, but I've read it enough times to know.
Yeah, you've read it, and I don't know whether you saw the incident between Cloudy Balloons and Dano last race. It was much talked about in the steward's office and between the stewards from, you know, inklings that we've heard and seen in the steward's findings. But you know, were you surprised to see Cloudy Balloons lose his place on the FP grid, or do you think it was long overdue?
Well, he's been a frustrating driver to deal with for a fair while now, and it was only a matter of time before he got removed. It was either going to be this last race, or if not then it would be sometime in the future. So I think better sooner than later, really, for him.
No, I agree with you. So we're just waiting for everybody to get into place, choose their vehicles, and get this race started. So I don't think everybody's here just at this moment in time, so another delay, but I'm sure we'll get this race underway shortly, and the more it stays dry the better.
Yep.
So whilst we wait, we'll go through the car allocation for today. So in the Mercedes Hulk, we've got JP, Greenwood and Duofin. Hopefully they can score points today. I think JP's had a few struggles trying to get into the points. He's not had a single point so far this season. Ferrari, we've got Dino and Jack Tyler. So Jack obviously hoping for a good race, as is Dino, who failed to finish last time out. Red Bull, we've got Frizzo Stolk and Mac Fee. So Mac Fee not here today, but Frizzo hopefully can improve after qualifying last on the grid. Williams, it's Chicken and Jolianu Manu, so that's going to be a good, interesting battle to watch. Renault, we've got Wacko and Haig, so Haig in a better car this time out, so he'll be happier, but I'm sure Haig somewhere deep down feels he should be in a much quicker car. Toro Rosso, Oogie and AMS, Oogie's not here as well. Haas, we've got Big C and CC Brain, and in the McLaren it's Ash Best today, so yeah, a very mixed up grid.
Yep, especially after qualifying, we'll see how the race goes. Or some people trying to fight through the field. I think one here in particular didn't get a very good qualifying, did he? I'm not even sure if he got his second lap in, because he qualified his first on the softs. So he could be rather far down the grid, fighting his way through in the Williams. Not really what you wanted, considering, as we said earlier, he's in the title fight, but yeah, you've got to play with the hand you dealt with, and that's the hand he was dealt with.
Yeah, and I wonder if he'll have his hand forced in the opening lap by another driver, because we do know Haig has unfortunately been involved in in some first lap incidents in FP. I mean, last race of no fault of his own, he was collected by Chicken Owns not Chicken Owns, sorry, by Cloudy Balloons, who initiated by saying he was going to defend the inside, and then moved on to Haig's braking line, and Haig had to take avoiding action, and in that he collected another car in QPR Beast. So we did have a wacky first lap last race, but I think this first lap could be quite juicy considering the nature of it.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it is. It is very long, and you can go side by side through it. It's quite exciting to watch them go side by side through it, but it does also have the potential for lots of incidents, people taking it at different speeds, people trying to go for glory and make up tons of positions in the first lap. Yeah, it should be quite fun to watch.
Yeah, and we know that visibility can be quite poor here in Shanghai going into the first corner. I mean, the air's heavily polluted as well, and Codemasters have replicated that within the game, so it's not going to be clear sighting for anybody going into the first corner, especially if we are expecting rain later on. We're going to have cloudy conditions added with the polluted air, so could that have an impact on drivers' visibility going into turn 1?
Well, I don't think the game really simulates that. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is up to you, I suppose, but I don't think that'll matter. Maybe later on when the rain comes, it might make a bit of a visibility might be a factor, but I don't think on the first lap, unfortunately.
No, and we are waiting for this race to get underway. 18 people here ready to go. Was it 16 and then just...
Well, it's 16 because 18's including us too. So, yeah. Well, I mean, we are also waiting to go, but we're not racing. So.
Yeah, so absentees for today: Oogie Azim and Jack Lacey. So 2 of the title contenders not able to race today, but we're going to have a show on our hands because this race is going to be underway very shortly. And I always ask you this, Hulk: will drivers have their heartbeat pumping at this moment in time?
Well, that might actually be relatively calm, actually, considering the fact of restart. Because it does just sort of pull you out at the moment a bit. And some people might be frustrated because they didn't get the right lap in, but yeah, they might be calmer than they might be in a normal scenario where they've already got the adrenaline pumping from qualifying and now they're going straight into the race. So yeah, maybe a little bit, but not as much as they usually would.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the scores at the moment, and they're quite interesting. It's the football scores, but we are here, Hulk, at Shanghai, and the sun does seem to be out.
Yep, it's very sunny at the moment. Doesn't look like there's much of a chance of rain, but we're assured that there is towards the end of the race. And people eager to get underway as soon as possible. Jack Tyler loaded up almost instantaneously. There. 10 seconds to go now before we have lights out in this race.
Yeah. We are on China's central coast, the country's biggest city, and we are underway here in Shanghai, and Flying Throne gets a good start. We can't see what's going on at the moment because the camera angles, but Mr. Grumpy up into P5, and we're just seeing this first corner here. Everybody seems to have got away well, but that midfield looks really, really scrambled, but a good start there from Flying Throne. Mr. Grumpy down to 6, so Jack Tyler getting a jump, and he's putting his teammate under pressure as well, of Dano, so a good start to the race. Jolien Emmanuel up into 6, so a good start. And look at that, there's a McLaren down the inside making a double overtake. Ash Best up into 7th, but he's not going to have the power out that corner. Hulk, I don't know if you've seen what's going on, but this looks like a very frantic corner, free wide.
Oh yeah, you don't really want to be going 3 wide in there. I think the Red Bull decided to back out of it, but still side by side with a Renault. I'm not entirely certain who of. I think it's...
QPR
Has he got
Beast.
the move done?
Yeah.
I can't tell where Ashbest actually is at the moment because
He's 8th and he's got Grumpy alongside him, so Grumpy not backing out into the braking zone. Grumpy having a fuming start to the race. He's down 3 positions. Julian Emmanuel up 3. And look at that, Ashbest wrenching his car out wide, but I think Mr. Grumpy will have the power to come straight back at him, and I think there's a Ferrari going to make a move on CC Brain, but we'll just stay with this for the time being. This is incredible stuff.
yeah, there was some very exciting action between Ashbest and the QBR Beast. And now Ash is trying to make another move on the Red Bull of Mr. Grumpy at the inside at the final corner. And I think he's got that done, although Grumpy tries to hold it on the outside. Yeah, he can't quite do it, but you might have slipstream down this pit straight, and the Renault QBR Beast has slipstream on Jack Tyler as well. And now they're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. It's quickly become 2 wide as the Haas backs out of it, and Mr. Grumpy trying to hold it all the way around the outside of turn 1. That might mean he has the inside for turn 2. He does, but he's not quite far alongside enough. And you get a good exit he has, and now they're still side by side. They've been side by side for the entire first sector as Mr. Grumpy goes round the outside of turn 4. They're still side by side coming into these 2 long first left and then right handers, and yeah, Mr. Grumpy has held on to 8th position there.
That was one hell of a racing overtake against one of the hottest properties on the PSGL site. The experienced Mr. Grumpy showing it how it's done as Jack Tyler runs wide up the road in 7th, so he's lost the position to QPR Beasts. But a very, very exciting race, and we'll just see is there anybody out there up the grid who is going to be challenging CC Brain right behind Chicken Owens there, but I don't think the Toros has got the power to catch up. And
Chicken Owens and CC Brain and AMS are glitched on my screen, and CC Brain doesn't exist. AMS is going about 4 miles an hour, and Chicken Owens is also going about 4 miles an hour. So okay. I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
Well, we'll give them limited airtime as possible. But a Ferrari's gone straight into the pits. I need to look at him. The speed he went into the pits looked dangerous. But no, he's got in, I think, a bit of the wing damage, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks to be on the right hand side. He's got some small front wing damage. Let's see what titles he's going on to. He's going to the mediums. So he's going to have a wing change. That puts him all the way down to the back of the grid.
Oh, they can't get the jack off. They can't get the jack off. But they do. They do. Oh, what an incredible start to the race. So you can see Dano, can't you, at the moment? But you won't be able to see the 2 drivers in front of him. But
no, who are the 2 drivers in front of him?
It's CC Brain and Chicken Owens. It's Flying Frame who leads the way ahead of those 2. So they'll be looking to pull away from the rest of the grid. But Jolyon Emanu's got a great start in the Williams. He'll be very, very proud of himself, and we'll give him a little bit of airtime here. He's got QPR Beast in close company, only 4 tenths behind him. So, and this should be an interesting battle. Joel getting all out of shape in the Williams, but he will have the power. But the downforce is clearly with QPR Beast. Can he get the toe? Jolyon Emanu goes really defensive. DRS wide open here from QPR Beast. Joel tries to push him wide, but he can't, and he's going to have to be battle at the last late breakers, and Joel gives QPR Beast limited space. But look at the traction there from QPR Beast. Can he make this move stick here, Holt?
Well, we're about to find out, and no, it doesn't look like he is, but he's going to have a good run down the pit straight, and he's pulling into the slipstream, and then right to the outside. You're going to have a lunge up the outside of turn 1. He might not need to be a lunge because you have the DRS open, he's alongside, and ducks up to the inside for the apex of turn 1, which is, then he tries to squeeze off the Williams, but he doesn't quite manage it, and yeah, he's forced to surrender that position, but he might have another go down at turn 4 at the end of sector 1. Is he going to manage it? And yeah, doesn't quite manage. He's going to have to wait a while, probably for the pit straight to have another go there.
Yeah, and it's going to say great racing from the pair of them. I mean, they would be in the same party chat at the moment. QPR Beast, obviously, a driver commentated last week, faring a little bit better this time out, and he's enjoying that run of the same car he drives in PSGL F1. And Joel absolutely struggling there in the Williams. What will QPR Beast do? Will he just wait for the DRS straight? Gets really close to the back of Joel. He's got to be careful he doesn't chip a wing here. And will Joel get a better exit this time out? He's been struggling in the Williams. He does get a better exit, and I think he's probably got enough of the straight to defend. But QPR Beast will have DRS wide open here, and he will hound in on the stricken car here of Jolian and Manu. And look at that, up to 206 miles an hour as we look at the telemetry, down into third gear, down to second, and look at that, Joel squeezes in wide, and QPR Beast probably a little bit frustrated at this moment in time.
Yeah, it does look like he is the faster car, but probably because of the Williams prowess on the straights, he can't really get ahead properly. He is trying to use the advantage that the Renault does have, which is through the corners, but he still can't quite find a way past. Though it does look like it's just a matter of time if he can keep the distance that he currently has.
Sorry, Mr. Grumpy and Ash Best are going at it again. Ash Best trying to make a move, but Grumpy going extremely defensive here. And I think Ash Best will want an answer at this next corner. But Mr. Grumpy definitely knows what to do here. They had a great battle at Silverstone over last place. And at the back of the grid, sorry, JP Greenwood and Frizzo Stolk have been involved in a little bit of a scrap as well. So that's an interesting battle. Look at that. Oh, Frizzo locks up, and I thought they were going to collide. Frizzo obviously on the mediums, playing the long game, but JP Greenwood holding his own out there. 8.7 seconds off his teammate Joe Finn in 13th place. Can he get a point here today, Hulk?
Well, maybe if there's some retirements, he might get a bit lucky and find himself at the points, but at the moment I don't think he quite has the ultimate pace to catch up to the cars ahead of him and end up in the points. But if he keeps out there, doesn't crash, and yeah, he might have a bit of luck later on the race.
Yeah, and Warren Hayes just made a pass on Wacko to get into that final point scoring position, but Ashfest looks close to Mr. Grumpy here. It's a very close battle. We'll stay with it for the time being. And what will Mr. Grumpy be thinking? You know him quite well. Will he just be looking to get as much as he can out of this race in preparation for F4, or will he be battling for pride and for himself here today?
I think it's just out there to have fun, really. I mean, you know, he's not really in the title fight or anything like that, but it's always fun battling with drivers that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to battle with, and Ashfest is certainly one of those drivers for Grumpy. Obviously, the disparaging car, that does help a lot, but yeah, he'll just be looking to hold up Ash as long as possible, have a bit of fun battling with him.
Oh my god!
Hopefully beat us.
Sorry Hulk. JP Greenwood and Frizzo, they're getting really close and personal. But you're right about Mr. Grumpy. He's just out here to have fun. Sorry to cut you off so abruptly. I just felt something's going to happen between Frizzo and JP. JP going overly defensive into some of the corners here. I know it's a battle for 13th and 14th, but you know, these types of battles, they don't usually get much airtime or much coverage at all, and we have to give them some airtime, don't we?
Yeah, especially when they can actually be some of the most exciting battles on track, even if they're not really for any points. People literally just fighting for pride. They can still be incredibly exciting to watch, and certainly is one of those. Although it does look, to me at least, that Frizo has dropped back slightly.
Yeah, so we'll keep a close eye on that one, but we'll go back to QPR Beast and Joel, and look at that! QPR Beast has got the move done on Jolian and Manu. So I wonder if Joel's going to try and have a go back with the Mercedes engine here, but I feel like he's just too far behind. So QPR Beast making a great move, so we missed that scrap there. It was heating up for a few laps, but that is a great overtake.
Yeah, but now we'll be pushing to catch up to the car ahead, which I think is Deno. I'm not sure if there's another car that I can't see in between the two of them. But
CC Brain, and sorry, Haig's just made a move on Big C. Haig has made a pass on Big C, and look at that Wakai down the inside as well in the Renault. So Big C, 7-time PSGL F1 champion, being slaughtered around the racetrack. And look at that Duofin, they're going to have a go behind that Wakai, and look at that, nearly gets out of shape there. So it's all kicking off here. It's all kicking off here, and Frizzo has made a move on JP, but JP's come back at him. I can't look at that for the time being, but they are battling hammer and tongs. I don't know what's happening. Big C lets them all go. What happened there? He's got damage. Big C's got damage. I wonder where he picked that up.
Well, he just had some bad luck, because there was a lot of cars within a very confined space, and ultimately it doesn't take much for them to get damaged. And that's what BC has, and he's probably going to drop off now. It's unfortunate, but it does happen, especially when you've got, well, in that case, you had 4 cars within, well, a few metres of each other.
And there's a few cars and a few metres of each other. Haig struggles with the aerodynamic grip of the Williams. I thought he was in a different car. No, he's in the Williams, interestingly. But Woko gets the move done, as does Jurkin. So Haig drops back from the pair of them and has to settle there. And he has to go to the inside, misjudges his braking, and slight tap there with Jurkin, but gets away with it. So Haig losing 2 positions in the space of 1 corner. I just wonder, will he go into the pits and retreat here? No, he doesn't. Frizzo Stolk and JP Greenwood are battling. Look at this. They're exchanging positions every corner. JP Greenwood trying to make a move around the outside. Frizzo's got no rear end grip. So JP Greenwood getting the move done. And will Frizzo having to avoid himself on the brakes. And Jack Tyler's going to join the party, I believe, very shortly as well. Hulk, look at this. He's got the DRS. Is he going to go for the move down the inside? No, JP says no. Ecstatic stuff.
Yep, some brilliant battling between the two. Completely clean, and you saw Friesel going completely sideways out the exit of the hairpin, back straight, and does look like JP has held off Friesel for this lap at least, although it won't be long before he has another go.
It won't be, but Big C and Haig, they've exchanged positions. I wonder if Haig was letting Big C through, and is he going to have a re-attack at the PSGL 7-time F1 champion, or has Haig got damage of his own? That is really interesting. What was that all about?
Well, it doesn't look like Haig has damage. Maybe Haig felt that he was at fault for whatever happened to Big C, which we unfortunately missed, and he has just let him through, although that's not really going to help too much considering Big C is going to be very slow with that damage he's got, so it shouldn't be too long before he gets past him again.
There isn't 5 frames in the pits here, but Jack Tyler is battling Frizzo and JP Greenwood. I wonder if he's going to make a double overtake. This could be a big moment for Jack Tyler. He's going around the outside, clean around the outside of Frizzo Stolk, and he's making a move now on JP Greenwood. It's going to be an incredible double overtake from one of the youngest drivers on the PSGL F1 site. He's not got the horsepower on JP. Will he go a lot better on the brakes? He does, and he gets it slowed down on time. What an incredible overtake there on JP Greenwood. And I think Frizzo Stolk didn't expect that at all. So good overtake, and they're both into the pits. They're battling hammer and tongs.
It gave him a bit of a nudge there on the exit. Not the kindest thing to do really, but he did have the move done. He was very tentative there before looking to dive to the inside. And yeah, it does look like JP got damage, maybe from that tap, I'm not quite sure. Although it might have been contact between Friesel and JP because they're both getting wing changes.
Yeah, this is painful, isn't it, for the Force India team. They had a painful race last time out with Cloudy Balloons, but they are underway with Frizzo Stolk, and he'll be looking for a better stint this time.
Well, they were winning as well with their flying form in the other car, so it wasn't all bad for them.
No, it wasn't. So I wonder who we turn our attentions to. I know Duo's keeping Woko company here, and I think he could have an attack down the straight. I know Dano and CC Brain are battling up ahead, but yeah, we'll go to that. We'll go to that. So they are into the pits. CC into the pits. Chicken Owens into the pits. Jolian and Manu into the pits, as is Ash Bessa. Flurry of activity in the pit lane, and will Flying Throne be able to stay ahead of this gaggle of cars? Because
well, he didn't really encounter that much traffic. I think the only traffic he did have was Big C, who he managed to dispatch fairly easily. So we're about to see, is he gonna? Well, he won't inherit the lead quite yet, but as he jumped over the cars or pitted after him, it looks like he has, like, quite a distance.
Yeah, but they've got Jofin and Woko coming up soon, so Woko could be what Mark has described before as a proverbial cork in the bottle or something of that sort. So this should be quite interesting, as we are joined also by Remco Vengeance on the stream, and he's happy to see Joel doing very well out there as well. But Jofin putting Woko under heaps of pressure here. Jack Tyler picks up a penalty. do you think Gio's had a good start to the race? He had a shaky qualifying, but he's kept himself together well, hasn't he? And he's making his way up the grid slowly.
Yeah, he's kept things clean and he's found himself in the fourth position at the moment. I mean, he hasn't hit yet and probably won't be for quite some time. Well, a few laps at least, but yeah, he's done quite well for himself. Made up some positions, kept his nose clean, no contact, no wing damage, and he might be looking up for some more points this race.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to go for a lunge. CC and Big C are battling. Walker goes defensive, but I think he's got this move covered, so we're just going to go right on board here with Big C and CC Brain here. And CC Brain going to make a routine overtake. Big C locks up, looking at really wrenching the Haas around. He's lost the place to Jolien Emmanuel, already a pit stop behind his old foe. So Big C surely got to come in this lap, and he's staying out with a damaged wing. I just wonder what his intentions are this race. The Haas, I don't know what he's doing out there, but what a horrendous race for Big C. And look at that, who's that? Coming out, Dano has been jumped by Joel, but he's going to try and go for a move here. Oh, the gap closes and he knows it. He's had to back out for now, Hulk. But what's Big C doing out there?
Well, I don't know. Maybe, well, we can't be holding off for rain because it's not going to be any time soon, so it seems like a bit of a bizarre decision. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. I'm not wanting to question him. I'll trust his methods when it comes to this sort of thing. But but I'd have been in the pits a lot sooner.
Yeah, and I'm just watching Dano versus Joel here, but Flying Frame has caught up to the back of Duofin as well, so that's going to be interesting. Big C getting overtaken by Ash Best as well. He's just going one way, is Big C, and that is backwards. And even Mr. Grumpy's had a move on him. Just look at the state of Big C, 7-time PSGL F1 champion, wrenching his car around without a win. But Dano here on Joel, can he get the move done? Look at that, Joel really struggling to keep the car on the edge of the track. Joel goes right to the inside. He'll be able to defend with the Williams. That's got a good straight line package. So Dano will find it difficult to make a move. And Flying Frame, has made headway up the road. He's passed Jofin and now he is chasing after Wacko. And with Chicken Owens behind in close company, Frame will need to make this move as soon as possible and just push ahead.
Yeah, where is Chicken Owens? Because I can't see him.
He is 1.2 seconds behind Duofin on the medium tyres, and QPR Beast 1 second behind also on the medium tyres. I think he's jumped CT Brain through all the stops, and Dano has finally made an overtake on Joel, so we are missing some of the overtakes here.
Yeah, that one might not be quite done, although it looks like Dano got much better exit out of turn 2, so yeah, I think that is pretty much moved done now, unless Joel's not going to go for a lunge from that distance.
Oh, Grumpy! Grumpy and Ash Best are battling hammer and tongs out there. Ash Best on the softs there, and he decides to clear Mr. Grumpy. Mr. Grumpy obviously going for a longer stint, doesn't want to give that position up, and look at that, he's struggling in the dirty air. But Ash Best in the McLaren getting the move done. I wonder how Grumpy's going to respond here. Will be close enough in the DRS to have another go back at him.
Certainly, it looks like it to me. He's almost pushing through some of those corners. He should have the DRS. Interestingly, Ash has gone on the soft tyre. So yeah, that's an interesting decision. He must be hoping to win because I don't think he can go to the end on those from here. But yeah, Grumpy will be looking to have the DRS. He takes a much tighter line through that corner. I'm not sure if he's close enough. We're going to have to wait and see with the slipstream as Ash is weaving a fair bit on that track.
I think Grumpy might have a go. No, he doesn't. That's best defends the inside. And Wacko and Flying Frame are battling there for the lead as well. So the race lead could change hands very shortly. But we'll stay on board here with Grumpy. He looks like he's going to have the better of Ash Best. Down the straight, DRS wide open for one of the most experienced drivers on the grid. Can Mr. Grumpy get the move done? He sweeps around the outside. Ash Best will have the grip to take the inside line, and he does. Grumpy refuses to give up. He's going to wrench that Red Bull around the outside, nearly on the edge of the grass there. This is getting really personal, and Mr. Grumpy showing Ash Best how it's done. The old timer showing the new kid on the block, this is who I am. And Mr. Grumpy with some exotic defending.
Well, there was exotic defending from both drivers there. You had Ash Best waving on the straight,
Yeah.
There was some contact halfway through turn one, and obviously Mr. Grumpy took to the gravel. It looked like he took the apex there, but it looks like he is past now.
Yeah, and Mr. Grumpy's a man. Get a move done by all means necessary, and he's followed that. But flying frame here, can he get a move done on Wacko? It's looking really agitated on this back straight. Duo Finn also being passed by Chicken Owens, will be looking to have a go back at him. So it is all kicking off down this pit straight, and QPR Beast. Oh my goodness, so they're free abreast down into this corner. Oh, this is mental. This is mental, and look at that. Duo Finn refusing to give up, and QPR Beast can't quite make that one stick. So Chicken Owens has done that well. I know you can't see it, but wow.
I'll take your word for it.
It was great. And Flying Frame's finally got a move done on Wacko, so that's good. But QPR Beast on Duo Finn down the inside. Oh, there's contact. There's contact. Oh, Duo Finn's off. Oh my goodness me, there's a Toro Rosso collected in it as well. CC Brain. Duo Finn's facing the wrong way. And look at that, there's cars overtaking people everywhere, and my goodness me, we managed to catch that on camera, and we usually catch the interesting collisions, but wow, that was one hell of a collision, wasn't it?
I'm not quite sure what happened there. I could only see half the drivers, and yeah, that was rather weird. And Warren here looks like he crashed into QPR's car after it retired, which isn't particularly good for him. But yeah, it was a big incident there. I didn't really expect that to happen. Both drivers usually keep it relatively clean, but yeah.
And Duo Finn didn't lose too much out of it as well, so he survived. But QPR Beasts, what a way to end these races for 2 consecutive weeks here in the FP League. Disaster for QPR Beast, and so Dano's closing up to the back of Duo Finn as well. So I think Duo probably will need to go into the pits and just get a set of mediums on to the end of the race. I wouldn't stay out there much longer, Duo. You know, there's only going to be drivers coming at you, and I think Duo may listen here and go straight into the pits.
He might he got very side with that corner, but yeah, I was thinking he might be pushing it to try and go on to the supers at the end.
Yeah, it's a dead man walking. I mean, it's going to be a struggle for points for this man, unfortunately. Big C down in 13th, 1 second behind AMS, who pitted on the first lap. We didn't talk about him, but he did pit on the first lap, so he picked up damage. Wacko finally makes these pit stops as well, so that's interesting. So Jack Tyler up into P9 as it stands. He's up into 8th actually, so CC Brain, here he is making a pit stop there. It's going to be repairing his wing. He just came in for a pit stop, and now he's sticking on a set of the yellow tyres, the soft compound, and yeah, he won't be happy with that.
No, not good for him. I mean, I can't see his car, but yeah. Let's see, is there any other battles going on at the moment? Like fighting down for once this race.
Big C and AMS, that could be interesting. 2 drivers on different tyre compounds here. They are both. I
can't see AMS, so you're going to talk this one.
They are both in the Haas here. So AMS goes defensive down the inside on the medium tyres. Big C trying to use the grip of the Haas on the softest tyre compound. The PSGL F1 7-time champion of the world. Very experienced. What can he do here? AMS under all sorts of pressure, and he just hasn't got any grip on those medium tyres. He's surely going to give this position up. He doesn't. He leaves the car down the inside, but Big C sweeps around the outside, making one of the most outstanding overtakes you'll see this race on his teammate. And Big C will be looking to pull away and hound in on the Williams of Warren Haig for that final championship point, which could be absolutely crucial for Haig, who is in a championship battle. But Ash Best doing a great job in the Mercedes, putting Grumpy under all sorts of pressure. It'll be interesting to see if Ash can take those tyres to the end. Grumpy obviously very hesitant at the moment. He's making a few errors, but he's keeping a hold of his position. He fought really hard, didn't he, to get in front of Ash.
Yeah, he did, and that battling might still be going on. It looks like they're still relatively close.
Joel and Duo just Joel's made one of the most outstanding overtakes. Look at that, using all of his experience, even nudges Duo Finn a little bit and moves up into 4th place. So Joel could have half a shout of a podium if he can catch up with the drivers. in front. But back to Mr. Grumpy Hulk, sorry.
Yeah, he's having a very good race, and Ashbest is just behind him, so that battle might not be over quite yet if he can stay within a decent distance. But yeah, he won't be happy in 7th place. He might, well, that's actually 6th place, isn't it? Say 7th for me. And he'll be looking to probably catch up with Duo in and pass in, because Duo hasn't pitted yet and his tyres will be very worn. Can't be fun to be on. Who is that? What was that for?
I don't know if that's Frizzo Stolk, who's gone off track somewhere, but because he's just lost a lot of time to JP Greenwood, so that was interesting.
And Duo finally goes up the pits. Finally, I think at this point he will go onto the supers surely.
Yeah, let's have a look at this pit stop. Let's have a look at this pit stop. Can the Mercedes team get the pit stop done on time here?
Yes. I mean, they haven't the entire pit lane to themselves, so it'd be pretty disappointing if they couldn't. Yeah, he's on the supers, he should be fairly quickly in. I think he is going to come out still in the points. Just about.
He'll have to hound in on Warren Haig up the road, who is on medium tyres, so the dream for GFN to get a P8 is actually alive, and you know, I have full faith that Joe will put on a show towards the end. And look at that, Frizzo Stolk is out. He's given up the ghost. Last week's race winner struggled here today at Shanghai, and you know, disappointing end to his race. But flying frame here, doing well in 1st place ahead of his nephew Chicken Owens. So it's going to be a family 1-2. It's going to be celebrations at the end if it stays like this. But Flying Frame may have to make a pit stop on those soft tyre compounds, so the dream might be over for Frame here, but it'll be interesting to see how long he makes his tyres last.
Well, he was the first to pit as well. I think he pitted as early as 9, so the tyres will probably be struggling by the end. He might pit, went on to them hoping for some rain at the end of the race, but that doesn't look to be forthcoming to me. I can't see any real sort of evidence of it clouding over anytime soon, so Chicken Owens might win the race without having to do any overtakes, just by, well, I'm assuming some medium tyre.
Yeah, and do you think Ashbest and Mr. Grumpy are going to change hands as we go further into this race? Do you think Grumpy will use all of his experience that he's churned out year after year to stay ahead of Ash?
Well, Ash hasn't been able to get past him properly so far, apart from when he did the undercut, so I can't see it changing anytime soon. I think this is going to be, he has enough to see if Ash, especially Ash's tyres, will wear out a lot quicker.
Yeah, oh, Jack Tyler's gone off a little bit, he's lost a place there to CC Brain, he spun it, one error too many, and see you later, Jack Tyler, he's lost a bit of his wing. Oh, he could have had half a shout of points, but rookie errors once again for Jack Tyler, and he must be absolutely upset. He did say he wanted more coverage. He's got more coverage for all the wrong reasons today. And, you know, we saw him pull off a great double overtake earlier on JP and Frizzo, and Jack Tyler has had enough, and he's called it quits. So JP Greenwood will move up into 13th, and he's got to hope that 3 more drivers in front retire. But JP Greenwood may get what I believe would be one of his first finishes of the season. He might have had a couple of finishes, but this would be a good race for him if he can get to the end.
Yep, it doesn't look like he's really anywhere near another car, but he might still pick up some points if he stays in the lobby at the very least. So
yeah, and there's a movement here. There's a movement here for 11th and 12th. I know you can't see AMS on your map, but CC Brain putting AMS under all sorts of pressure here. I mean, if you can get this move done, CC, you can battle on for the final point in here. But AMS going defensive, he is in the title battle. I think CC Brain's also involved in that title battle. Yes, he is. So both of these are battling here for pride, and AMS will definitely not make it easy. He'll make it as hard as possible. Goes right to the inside. CC Brain trying to make a move around the outside. He's got the grip into Toro Rosso. but will the Haas squeeze him wide? Oh, he can't, and CC Brain making an incredible overtake. But Juho Finn has catched up to the back of Haig. You can see these two, can't you?
Yeah, but, well, he flows in remarkably quickly. Obviously, he's on those super soft tyres and he looks lightning quick on them. I think this is the formality of an overtake. When will it be, though? Will it be at the end of this mini straight here, or will it be down the long DRS straight we're about to find out? Is he going to have a dive up the inside here? I hope he's played it safe. He's going to get the DRS, just ensure that he follows closely behind him. And it should be a simple overtake for Duo Finn to move further into the points.
Yeah, and CC Brain's out. CC Brain's out, so we'll see what happened to him. He's just called it quits, so JP Greenwood will move up another position. Juho Finn just hasn't got the straight line speed on Warren Haig, so the Mercedes horsepower in the back of the Williams is going to make it really hard here for Juho Finn to make a move, and you know.
Yeah, I think forgotten to factor in there's no slipstream anymore because people have left the lobby.
And Haig's in. Haig has pitted. He's had enough of those mediums. He doesn't feel he can make them to the end.
Unless he started on them.
Yeah, unless we started on them. But AMS will move up into the final point scoring position. So Paul Haig now is going to have his work cut out in the last 8 laps. But AMS, who I believe only pitted once on the first lap. Let's have a look at the pit stops. Only one pit stop at the start. So he's got the final point as it stands. But Haig will look to claim that back on the super soft tyres, so that could be a battle to watch towards the end. And we'll get we'll ride on board here with Joel in fourth. He's gathered some consistency here. Jolyon and Manu. Sorry.
Yeah, I think he's in the best out of all the title contenders, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean Joel's a little bit further behind, but he will definitely make some inroads in the title battle. It's definitely not over for him. He did say he's dreaming of winning the title in this league. He wants to be a champion in PSGL. He's waited 7, 8, 9 years for it, and he picks up a 3-second time penalty. One of his most, ventured traits that he's picked up over the years. How to pick up a penalty, and he's even found a way to do it here at Shanghai as Jolyon Amani. So poor guy. Yeah,
it's not ideal with him. I think he's still within 3 seconds of Mr. Grumpy, so if the race finished now, Mr. Grumpy would inherit that position.
And we know Mr. Grumpy was one of the biggest vultures around when it comes to taking positions, and he took a position off you, didn't he? On the final stretch at Catalonia.
Yeah, that wasn't particularly fun. Nothing I could do about it, unfortunately. But yeah, he is very good. He pushes to the very end and manages to get a bit of luck with it.
Yeah, he is one of the most respected drivers, known for racing in the depths of agriculture here in PSGL. Look at that, as he wrenches the experience that he's got through these tight and twisty corners to get onto the back straight, knows where to plant his car and keep it out of Ashbest. He's actually got him out of DRS, and he may look to pull away now as Ashbest's tyres start to wear. Mr. Grumpy is finding a rhythm, and he's starting to close into Joel up the road. And let's see the experience here of Mr. Grumpy into the braking zone. And it looks great, doesn't it? Look at that, absolutely nailing the braking through there. He looks like a man who's at one with his vehicle Hulk.
Yep, he's driving very well today. He's up in a solid point scoring position. I think it's 5th place. I can't be 100% certain. It is 5th place, good. Yeah, he's up in 5th place. It's a solid 6 points for him if he finishes here now, although he will actually jump up to 4th at the moment. If he can just stay within 3 seconds of Joel and avoid any penalties himself, obviously. I think that might be one of his strongest finishes of the season. I'm not entirely certain how well he's doing in the championship at the moment.
Yeah, Mr. Grumpy is 10th in the stands. He did pick up a podium at Brazil, but he had a 7th last time out and an 8th at Belgium. But I'll tell you who is really flying out there. Anthony Haig here, Warren Haig, F1. Here we go. We set the fastest lap of the race in the Williams. We're going to ride on board with Warren Haig here in the Williams. Look at that, sweet as you like, through turn 1. And look at that, the car's absolutely dialed in. He's absolutely dialed in the understeer as the car wrenches its way around the swooping corner of turn 2, 3, 4, or whatever you want to call it. Into sector 1 we go here, Hulk. Does he lock up? No, he doesn't. Smooth on the brakes, and he can literally smell the wafting air coming from the back of AMS's vehicle here. And look at that, AMS up the road, struggling with grip, and look at that, Haig able to carry so much more speed through the corner. AMS is like a dog on its last legs, whilst Warren Haig is a puppy, a newborn puppy, absolutely going for it here. Can he make the move? Can he make the move here, Hulk?
Well, I don't know because I can't see AMS.
That's
sorry
all right.
about that.
That's alright. Warren Haig getting the switch back and using the grip to his advantage, and he's back up into P10, and AMS does not have an answer to Warren Haig's question, and that is a great overtake. But will AMS try and go for a little lunge to recapture any chance of scoring points there? I think he knows the battle's lost, and he's given up the ghost. Now Haig has got 5 laps to catch Big C, but that might be tough. As
He looks like a long way behind him. So.
Yeah, he's a long way behind. So there were yellow flags momentarily. I don't know who they were before, but yeah. I think Gio Finn's made a way past Big C, I think? No, he was always ahead, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it was a fair way ahead. Big C might be catching up to him, I'm not certain though.
Yeah, but what we are certain of is that Dano at the moment is putting Chicken Owens under all sorts of pressure. Chicken Owens goes to the inside, defensive as you like. Dano around the outside in the throw. Both of these drivers looking to pick up a podium, flying front up the road on soft tyres, which are surely going to wear. And look at that, Dano tries to make a move around the outside, and he just can't get the braking right, and Chicken Owens swoops back past.
Yep, went off track there. Just you're gonna have to try again this lap. I'm not entirely certain. I can't see Chicken Owens, but if you can just go catch back up and have another go, probably should get it done before the end of the race at this rate.
Yeah, he's trying to have a go down into this turn 1, 2, 3 complex, but he can't do it. And I just wonder if there's some sort of family games going on here. Is Flying Frame struggling with tyre wear, and now his nephew Chicken Owens is looking to just plant his car defensive as he possibly can to just, ease pressure off of his uncle. You just don't know how these things work. I mean, I've got to tell you something, Hulk. I had a cousin called HD who used to race in the PSGL F1 League, and he was my right-hand man. If I needed something sorted out, he'd reply and, often meet the demands. But, I just wonder if there's some sort of family games going on between Flying Frame and Chicken Owens at the moment.
Yeah, I think Flying Frame's putting in some consistent time still. I'm not sure if he really needs Chicken Owens' help, but he certainly won't hurt. Although you'd imagine Chicken would want the win for himself, so if he wants to show why he isn't pushing a bit harder to try and catch up.
Yeah, well, family means a lot to the Flying Frames and the Chicken Owens of this world, and this race is going to heat up for the last 4 or 5 laps. So this is the closest on-track battle that we've got. Haig isn't doing too bad of a job catching Big C, 9 seconds behind, but he might just fall short of that one.
Yeah, he might have to just stay with the 1 point at the moment, I think. So, barring any disconnections or what have you, I think you'll have to satisfy himself with that. But apart from that, I don't really think there's any battles apart from the one you mentioned.
Yeah, and I know you can't see it, but they are in close company with each other. They aren't really making too much inroads on Flying Frame. He's 2.5 seconds ahead, but once those tyres start going, it's going to be very, very interesting to see if Chicken Owens and Dano can close up to the back of Frame in the final 2 laps. Mr. Grumpy 1.7 seconds behind Joel, so that could get heated on the final lap or so. So we're just going to stay on board here with Dano at the moment. It's all going swimmingly well. I'm just going to check the Argentina score for a second, and it's finished. I don't know, did they qualify?
I'm going to imagine they did, because last I heard they were winning by quite some margin.
They've qualified.
Yeah, that wasn't particularly unpredictable. Who were they actually playing?
They're playing Nigeria, so they were 1-1, and they got Argentina got a winner in the 87th minute. So they're placing the World Cup, but someone who's looking to keep their place in second place is Chicken Owens at the moment, and he's doing just that, but he is taking a lot of time out of flying frame. He's taken half a second out of the last lap, so this could get really, really heated with 3 laps to go under the polluted air of Shanghai. Who's going to triumph? They did say there's going to be rain towards the end of the race, but I ain't seen no raindrops yet.
No, it does look to have clouded over slightly more though, so maybe in the last lap, but yeah, I don't think we're going to get any changing of tyres by this point.
Yeah, and Hulk, you know, Shanghai's coming up for you in F4. You know, after seeing what you've seen today from some drivers in terms of strategy, you know, do you feel the one stop's the way to go? I mean, we've seen Flying Throne go super softs and straight onto the softs, but do you feel the medium tyre hasn't worked today, or do you feel as if Flying Throne's being a bit too ambitious with his strategy? That now look at him, he's absolutely on the rims.
Yeah, those tyres don't look to be in the best shape, but he did pit very early as well. So maybe if you can stretch your super softs for a couple more laps, then the soft tyres would be the way to go. But I suppose we are going to have to wait and see if he gets a puncture in the final few laps. But yeah, super soft or medium does seem to be the safest strategy to go with. Certainly you don't want to be doing too soft around here, I don't think.
No, you do not, and the gap is now under a second, so will the uncle-nephew relations get really heated now as Dano is close to the back of Chicken Owens? What does he do here? Does he wait for the top two to battle, or does he get the move done and have Flying Throne all for himself? Because once that Red Bull's through, you know, you're going to struggle to keep up with him, and Flying Throne will be on the defensive. He's got 1.5 laps to go. Just what's going to happen here, Hulk?
I have no idea, we'll have to find out. I mean, I can't see Chicken, so I'm not quite sure where he is. He's between. Is he ahead of Dano yet, or is he behind?
He's ahead of Dano in second place. So I will take us through this. There are raindrops in the air. It's really starting to trickle down here at Shanghai. Flying Throne, he doesn't have as much grip left on those softer tyres, and now he's going to struggle for grip even more. But Dano is going to make a move here on Chicken Owens. Chicken Owens does not want to give that one up for his uncle, and he doesn't. And what's going to happen here? Will Flying Throne get a run? Sorry, will Chicken Owens get a run on Flying Throne? Flying Throne obviously got the Mercedes engine. Look at that, he's trickling down the straight. He's got to go straight to the inside. He's got to be defensive here. He can't leave the inside open. Dano right behind Chicken Owens there. Can he get some drive out of the corner? No, Chicken Owens has got a lot of horsepower on this final lap. And Flying Throne maintains his position, so this is going to be interesting on the final lap. Nearly a bit of a tap down. Dano can't get the traction down. It's trickling down. They've got absolutely no grip out there. I just wonder, will Winters be quicker at this stage of the race? It's like it's gone straight to heavy rain. This is
they might be quicker, but certainly there won't be a pit stop quicker, so it's a bit pointless pitting now. We're about to see, and this might actually play to Flying Throne's advantage. If nobody has any grip, then he's not really at any loss, is he?
No, he isn't. He's got to play one of the most defensive games on the final lap. Nobody wants to lose a race win on the final lap here. Look at that, Flying Throne really struggling, and Chicken Owens is going to make a pass on his uncle. His uncle's not going to be happy with that. His uncle ain't going to be happy. He's going to go to the inside. He's going to be defensive. Will Chicken Owens make a move? Look at that, Flying Throne. Oh, that breaks himself, and oh, he's mugged his uncle off. He's mugged his uncle off, and Chicken Owens takes the lead, and Flying Throne will be fuming. Grumpy behind, 4.8 seconds behind this group. He's made a move on Joel, so Grumpy doing really well as well in the other Red Bull. But Chicken Owens, incredible stuff here. But Dano will be looking to have a bite at Flying Throne. He's got more grip, and Throne's really struggling out there. Will he just accept and take the podium now? Will he fight for second place? DRS disabled, so they're going to have absolutely no grip at all. And look at that, Flying Throne, he's absolutely struggling out there.
Yep, he doesn't look very happy on those tyres, but he's just got one more straight to go. You never know, Dano might go off track in the braking zone, because again, they don't have any grip whatsoever. It's definitely wet conditions. Time to pit for the intermediates if this race was any longer.
Yeah, we'll go back on board with that. I think Waka and Ashbest, they're tussling, but we don't want to miss Chicken Owns going to the line here. So I think Waka and Ashbest will get personal to the line, but it is going to be Chicken Owns who takes the win off of his uncle on the final lap. Dano is going to take second place, but Chicken Owns is the winner. Dano in second, Frome in third, and I've just got to take a look at Ashbest and Waka. They're fine. Look at that, they're absolutely hustling it out there. Ashbest has got no grip in the McLaren. Can Waka get a drive out of the final corner? No, he can't. He's got to accept it. But Joel takes fifth. Grumpy in fourth. And look at that. Big C only 3 seconds behind Geofin in ninth. But Geofin, I believe, will get his best result of this, or one of his best results of the season here.
Yep, he's just in there very careful into what I say that as he drifts around the corner. Into the final couple of corners, make sure he doesn't lose the car and just maintain this 8th position and the few points he gets from it. Looks like Big C's going even slower. He can't pit. Has he run out of fuel, Big C, or something?
He may have done, and Warren Hay, will be looking at Big C up the road saying, can I get that 9th place? But no, Big C slowing down. What's this? An old favour? Is it for Warren Hay? No, he's teasing him, but no. Was there a penalty for Big C there? So Warren Hay picks up 9. So old favours for old friends, perhaps, as AMS takes 11th. But here he is, JP Greenwood. Look at him wrenching the muscles of the Mercedes car. Look at that, he's drifting it around the circuit. He's got absolutely no grip left in him.
Yeah, and yeah, he's not going to pick up a point, but he's going to pick up a finish at the very least. 12th place. Well, as if he can make it around the final couple of corners. I think we are pretty much in, might even be past intermediate conditions by this point.
Yeah, terrific drive.
Like, you can even see the spray coming off the back of the cars now. It's very wet out there, but yeah, drifts around the final corner there. He just finally finished the race, 12th position.
Yeah, good drive. Good drive from JP Greenwood. So, eventful race there right towards the end. We didn't think the race lead was going to change hands, but Flying Frome's tyres gave up, and Chicken Owns, Flying Frome's nephew, makes that move, right at the death. And look at that, he's ecstatic about it on the podium. Flying Frome seems very happy as well. And look at that. Yeah, excitement. They're lifting the trophy, they're kissing it as well. They're absolutely loving it out there. Look at that, spraying the champagne for the Red Bull team. Look at that, the uncle and nephew, they're having a moment on the podium. I think they'll be happy with that all in all. But yeah, what a race.
Yeah, they're very exciting for most of it. It's a shame I couldn't see 3 or 4 cars, but it was a very good race. Well done to Chicken and Dano and Frome. It's a shame about Frome, he couldn't quite hold on by the end there, but a good race from him nevertheless.
And a good race from Grumpy, who finishes 4th. Joel, terrific driving 5th. Ashbest doing a great job in the McLaren to bring it home in a solid 6th. Wacko up from 12th to finish in 7th. Joe Finn doing a great job from 14th from the grid to finish 8th. Haig likewise making up some ground, and Big C qualified 10th, stays 10th. AMS in 11th, and JP Greenwood in last of the finishers in 12th. So interesting race, and we'll get the thoughts of those on the podium and some of those who finished the race very, very shortly. So it was Wacko. No, it wasn't Wacko. It was Flying Frome and Chicken Owns. So we'll try and get them in, and then I'll see if I can get in Dano as well. And I don't know who else to give a chat to. You know what? We'll get Ash Best in here just to get his words, and then see who else is up for a chat. You alright?
Not bad. A bit warm.
Cool. We'll just wait for the others to come into the party. But who was your driver of the day, Hulk? If you had to choose one.
That's a tough question. I mean, obviously, Chicken won't do very well to get us to the win, but no, I'd say Mr. Gumby because he managed to get all the way up to the fourth position. It was a good race from him, and he very nearly got up to form by the end of it as well.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I thought Mr. Grumpy was absolutely flying towards the end. It took him a while to heat up. We didn't see his pass on Joel, unfortunately, but we hear it was an experienced one, and you know it was a great try from him. But you've got to say, for Chicken Owens to overtake his uncle in that manner on the final lap, I just worry about what that will do for family relations going forward. But but no, terrific job. So we'll go straight to the race winner, Chicken Owens. Great drive there from yourself. Just talk us through your emotions winning the race and obviously that final lap.
Yeah, it felt really good to get the win. I honestly didn't think I was going to catch him even if the rain came. I was just hoping it was going to do what it did and rain on the last few laps. That's what I was hoping for. That's why I went on to mediums. So like last lap I could see him struggling like mad. So I managed to get around him when he broke late.
No, a great overtake there, great victory. I've got to ask you this: do you worry for your uncle's health following that overtake? On the final lap, because obviously, he must be quite distraught by that.
Yeah, I do a bit. I hope he don't get too
Yeah. Okay, so Hulk, you have any questions for Chicken?
Not really, because I couldn't see him all this.
No, okay. You want to ask Frame? Oh. You want to ask Frame a few questions?
Yeah, it looked like you could actually win that race for a lot of it. But you did want soft tyres, which was a bit of a curious decision, because especially considering you won the first tip. So what was the reason behind that?
Well, it was because we did a grid editor and a restart. The weather the last two slots were supposed to be light rain, so I assumed it was.
Sorry,
rain.
I've got to apologise quickly. I accidentally won the blue screen. So we missed Chicken slightly, but Chicken did say he's ecstatic with his victory and he worries for his uncle's health. And back to Throne.
That's enough said.
You're happy with
Yeah,
that race, aren't
basically,
you?
I thought it was going to rain at about lap 21, 22, so I thought I'll comfortably make it on soft tyres. And it just didn't rain, so I think I were on 81% on last lap, and I just couldn't get car slowed down. So, yeah, I knew it would come in. To be fair, I think I'm lucky to finish on podium, really, because I know Grumpy were only a little bit behind.
Who's next?
But is Daniel not in here?
No, he isn't.
No.
Joel? No, Joel. So
Joel's gone.
no, that's all right. Who else is in here?
Ash.
Ash. Yeah, we'll talk to
This
Ash.
could be interesting, actually.
Yeah, great battle there with Mr. Grumpy. We saw it throughout the early parts of the race, but that was a race-long battle, and he got the better of you. Just describe us through that battle. Okay.
Wait, what?
just describe the battle with Mr. Grumpy.
Okay, sorry, it was an insane battle. I really loved it. I mean, both of us had to get our elbows out, and, well, controversy in chat for me, weaving to break the slipstream, which apparently isn't legal anymore, which, okay, fine then. I had a really fun battle, and both of us were aggressive, which was fair enough, but, like, now maybe going down to 8th or 9th for getting lots of penalties for trying to break the slipstream, because, what's the point, like, I'm in a McLaren, I'm going 199 miles per hour in a straight with DRS slipstream, and, and rich mixture. I have to do something to break the slipstream, or else I'm just gonna not enjoy this league.
Yeah,
But
well,
you still have to stay within the confines of the rules.
I mean, I
Regardless
thought like weaving to break the slipstream is fine. It's just like when the car is going for an overtake, you can't weave, which is fair enough. And I didn't weave when a car is going for an overtake.
yeah, well, what's happened has happened. But you know, it's done and dusted, and onto the next one. So before we wrap up, we're going to get some final words from the podium finishers. So Chicken Mate, can you just tell us what that win means to you and what it means to the family?
Yeah, it's only my third win, so yeah, it's obviously good to get another win and get a podium. I haven't had a podium in quite a while, so feels good.
Great. Frome, any words?
Just after all my hard work and help getting him into PSGL and getting him on his way and then bringing him up to F3, I thought maybe he could have just sat behind me really and let the old man take the win, but it's clearly not to be, so the gloves are off from now on.
Well, that's great to hear. And on to you, Ash. Obviously you're up there in the driver's standing. Some say you're actually leading it. I don't know, but you must be happy that you're leading the FP league, despite how frustrating it's been for you in the vehicles that you've been driving this season.
I mean, I'm leading with one race in a Toro, so which is like I can't believe it, but yeah, I'm really happy for that. And well, that lead might not last depending on my situation for the last 3 races, but overall I'm really happy to lead at this moment. I mean, penalties may be applied for something which I did not know, so I mean, maybe I'll lead, maybe I won't.
Yeah, well, it's in God's hands. So thank you for tuning in for the podium interviews, guys. Thanks to all of our viewers for tuning in for this exciting Chinese Grand Prix race in the FP League. Thank you to Hulk for commentating with me, and we'll see you next time, whatever the next track is.